Hello, everyone, and welcome to a special series of the Moving to Orlando show where we talk to folks who have actually made the move to Central Florida. I'm your host, Pete Werner, and I am joined this week by real estate agent Sean Falk.
Hi.
And our magic mover for this week, Melissa Berrios. How are you, Melissa?
Hi, everybody.
Well, welcome everybody to the show. Why am I not getting my? Okay, I'm still learning how to do this. So like I said, we're going to be doing a whole series of these shows where we talk to folks who have made the move to Central Florida, and Melissa has is distinguished as the first person that we're going to talk to about this. So Melissa, why don't you start off by telling us a little bit about yourself?
Well, my name is Melissa, and I am born and raised Puerto Rican. I moved 13 years ago to mainland US, and I've always been a Disney fan. So 13 years ago, I moved from Puerto Rico looking for a job opportunity. We got a job opportunity. My husband and I, we're both engineers. And ever since, we've been living in the Maryland, Washington, D.C. area. And so we've been living there we were living there for 13 years. And back in November, we took the plunge and we moved to Orlando.
And what area? First of all, what area of town did you end up settling in? Where did you want to?
So we chose to settle in Winter Garden.
Beautiful, love Winter Garden.
Yeah.
Yes. Well, I am a mom. I have two kids, an 8-year-old and a 2-year-old. So we chose Winter Garden mainly because of the schools. We wanted to be near a good school for elementary and in high school. Yeah, middle and high school for my oldest and my youngest also too. I mean, we wanted to settle for a long time. So schools was a big factor in it. And we fell in love with the Winter Garden community. So that's...
I wanted to ask, we get asked a lot about schools, and it's something I can't comment too much on because of being a real estate agent for legality reasons. But how did you go about researching schools? I guess just to help other people.
Yeah. So, well, first, the first thing you go to I think it's bestschools.com. There's a bunch of websites out there where you can research the school ratings, but also for Florida, the rating is different. Usually, everywhere else in the country, they're rating 1 to 10, and in Florida, it's like an A, B, or C grade. So we went online and looked for the Orange County school ratings. And so the first thing I did was just select the ones that were A graded and then look through all the schools and the reviews on the schools, reviews from the parents and the community itself. Because sometimes a school might have like a not so good grade, but when you look at the reviews and you look what the parents are saying, that tells you a lot. Because sometimes these grades that the schools are given are based on like testing and other factors. And you really want to know what the community really it thinks about the school. And so we've narrowed it down to several schools in Orange County. And so from there, we started looking houses around the school. So pretty much the school was our bullseye was in the school. And then we looked around the areas where we wanted our kids to go to those schools. So.
And I think a lot of people, I think there are a lot of people watching that probably are doing the same thing. They're really kind of, they want to make sure they have the right school district, but at the same time, be in the right area. So they start with the school district. So far, as far as you're concerned, your experience in Winter Garden with the schools has been a positive one.
Oh yeah, wonderful. And we come from a county, like we lived in Howard County, Maryland, which is one of the top in the nation. And that was a concern for me to just change my son, and I didn't want to like do a downgrade in education. And he's been doing great. Like I love the program. I mean, it's amazing. The teachers are amazing. It's a very tight knit community. So I had no problems with the school so far, and he's been doing great. So
that's terrific. That's
yeah. And to support what Melissa was saying, I have talked to several of my friends who are teachers in the Orlando area, and that is true. The schools do get graded based on their standardized testing. It's a statewide grade that's given out, or at least a district-wide grade that's given out. So a lot of the times it is an issue of where like, oh, if the average test score wasn't to a certain degree, and we all know that standardized tests aren't necessarily the only factor in like the school being good or how smart a child is or anything like that. So definitely I agree, reading the reviews more so than just looking at the letter grade, like it's a combination of those things.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Now, so Melissa, I'm assuming that you and your family vacationed here, like coming to Disney prior to making the move, correct?
Correct. So I've been coming to Disney since I was a little kid. And when we moved to the mainland US, I kind of took a break because as an adult, I love to travel, and my husband and I went a lot of places. But once we started having, like, we had our kids, then that kind of like, that feeling of like that Disney love came back again in full force. And we started coming down again and coming down every year, and eventually becoming DVC members as well. And then that like opened it to more than twice a year coming down here. We were coming down here pretty often.
So let me ask you, let's talk about expectation versus reality. So as a Disney fan, right, coming down here on vacation, what was your expectation about living here, and how has the reality of living here changed that?
Well, so yeah, the expectation was that I was gonna be in the parks all the time. Like that for me, being near the parks is just like a dream. Like you will not understand. My friends tell me, "Oh, you're in the honeymoon phase. You're soon gonna like be sick of the parks and whatever." And I'm like, "No, you don't understand. Like I really love being here." But really life gets in the way a lot. So although I'm not working a 9 to 5 anymore, I still have my business from home as well. I have to drop off the kids at school. I have to pick them up. I have my life to live. And if I really want to go to the parks, I need to plan ahead and schedule it. So it's not as easy as you would think it is to be in the parks all the time.
Well, but I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, but I was going to say, like, still a lot better than once a year or twice a year, for sure.
Right, exactly. I've been here 22 years now. And I've gone through phases. There was a honeymoon phase for me in the very beginning that, oh my God, this is great. But then, as you said, life gets in the way. And that was one of the things I hadn't really considered before moving down here, because, my experiences had all been vacation. Mm-hmm. So there was this, even though logically I knew, somewhere in my brain, I was thinking that, okay, I'm going to go live on vacation now. And you have job and responsibilities and home, your house to take care of, and all the other things that go along with life come along with you. But as you said, when I'm done doing those things, I don't have to make plane reservations. You know, I don't have to get a hotel room. I don't have to do any of that stuff. I can just go hang out in the parks.
Mhm.
You know, run over to Epcot and have dinner if I feel like it. But I think a lot of people that I've talked to, that comes up a lot, is the difference between the expectation and the reality. What's one thing you would tell anyone considering a move to Central Florida? What do you want people to know, to consider and think about?
Well, just to be patient, because it's a process, and although for us it was a relatively short process, it still took us about 5 months from when my husband accepted a job offer to when we got the keys to our house and moved in. And it takes sacrifice, because you have to go through a lot. I had to be, we had to be separated for a whole month. I had to, be with my kids. I'm in Maryland, where my husband was already here. Moving is stressful, so just be patient and plan ahead for a couple months. Is a big process to go through.
If you had it to do over again, would you do anything differently?
Not really. I am really impressed, even though despite all the stuff that happened, there's no process is going to be perfect, but it was pretty smooth. It was like, for me, it was like something, it was meant to be in a way. When things happen and everything lines up, that's kind of how it was for us, and I don't think it would have happened again that way. So no, I wouldn't change it.
I had a quick question. How did you feel with you having with you owning Disney Vacation Club and moving here? How has that affected you being an owner?
Well, surprisingly, I feel like I need more points now, because I'm so close. I can have so many staycations I want to take, and I don't have enough points to do it. So it's totally the opposite. But for me, I mean, we've already taken advantage of Moonlight Magic's events, which is amazing. Like, for us, we've never been able to, and we've gone through like 2 already, and we were scheduled for one in May 4th, and it got canceled. But yeah, just taking advantage of all those like DVC perks that you're probably not able to when you live far and you have to book a flight and everything has to line up perfectly. But at the same time, being able to explore other DVC properties. Like, for example, we have a vacation booked for Vero Beach for 4th of July, which is, I mean, I would have never considered Vero Beach if I was living in Maryland, because I always wanted to come here first. We're also considering going to Aulani maybe next year. So it's
good idea.
That's a good idea. Yeah.
Yeah,
Good
I need
idea.
to save up some points for that. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, it's just different. But I just love the fact that we can just look for like a couple nights here and there and be like, just pack a bag and let's go and let's stay there, and just enjoy the resorts.
That's good.
That's awesome. All right. Well, again, Melissa, thank you so much for joining us and for sharing your experiences. If you are interested in moving to the Central Florida area, just go ahead and check out our website, movingtoorlando.com. You can also check out our Facebook group, Moving to Orlando. And you can also reach out to Sean at movingtoorlando.com. He's a real estate agent with Keller Williams at the parks. So he can answer a lot of questions and help you out with any of that stuff. So that will do it for this episode. We hope you enjoyed it, and we'll see you again next time with another mover spotlight, or whatever we're going to end up calling this. Thanks very much, folks.